Welcome Titans to another video here on the Titans channel. With Titan Quest 2 now in early access, today it's time to look at a completely new mastery coming to the game, Forge. This is an entirely new mastery not only for Titan Quest 2, but for the whole series, since nothing like it existed in the first game. It introduces a fresh concept, a blacksmith empowered by the divine abilities of Hephaestus, capable of creating his own constructs, manipulating reality, and altering both enemies and the battlefield. Something truly new and refreshing. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into this mastery. Alongside this, many other additions have appeared, including a reworked system of night embers, new essences, and relics for items, but we'll discuss those another time. Today we focus on the completely new, extensive skill tree containing 10 skills. We'll cover all of them, even those I technically haven't unlocked yet, but will still show you. Let's start from the very bottom. The concept is simple. A blacksmith who manipulates reality and creates his own constructs. Theoretically, the Forge blacksmith can also be shaped into a physical damage character. There are bonuses for that, but I'm surprised how well Forge fits with almost every other class. Archer, mage. There are many interesting mechanics that allow this mastery to work in any combination and still feel satisfying and fun. Personally, I'm a fan. It feels much better than Nidon from Titan Quest 1, where there weren't many viable cross-class variations. I personally wasn't a fan of that mastery, but here, honestly, it's very well designed. Sure, I would love to see even more skills added, but already there's something useful for warriors, archers, mages, every type of character. Now then, let's begin with the fundamentals. Forge introduces a new mechanic, the Divine Core, a new essence required for deploying constructs. Divine Cores begin dropping from enemies once you select this mastery, and they serve as the crafting currency for your mechanical units. That's why some skills require Divine Cores, while others require mana. Thanks to this, you can simultaneously use skills from both mastery trees. It's great because every construct needs a resource, a tool, to be created. Now it's time to discuss the skills themselves, and there are many. The first skill is Blade Trap, previously shown in gameplay footage, but now officially available in action. Blade Trap is a summon. All buffs from passives and items affecting summons also apply here. The Blade Trap has an activation effect. When placed near an enemy, it begins attacking. There are many modifiers: increased range, increased damage, increased divine core cost, weakening enemies on hit, an increased summon limit up to 4 traps, and, most importantly, elemental infusion. If you cast a skill dealing lightning, fire, etc., your traps adopt that damage type. This makes Forge amazingly compatible with mage builds. Then we have synchronized activation. When we use a skill, our traps perform an action as well. Double activation, recycle, dropping divine cores on destruction. Reduced activation cost, there is a lot. Next comes Forge, one of the most important skills. With divine cores, you can activate glowing orbs that orbit your character. They deal damage to enemies upon contact, but more importantly, they strengthen your character. They can deal critical damage, fire damage, move faster, increase total damage, increase weapon damage, adopt damage types from your other skills, grant dodge chance, and provide more orbiting projectiles. Additionally, if you use projectile-based skills, each projectile consumes 1 charge, empowering it. Archers, especially, benefit enormously from this. Next are the mines, a skill allowing you to throw traps that explode when enemies walk over them. They're perfect against groups. Modifiers include increased damage, transferring damage types, elemental damage, more mines, remote activation, a larger radius, and a shorter cooldown. Elemental infusion again ensures the mines adopt the damage types of your other skills. Another skill, Chains, one of my favorites. It lets you pull enemies toward you. We've seen it in earlier previews. Chains help manipulate the battlefield. You can drag enemies into your blade traps, mines, etc. Modifiers include increased damage, increased range, reduced enemy cast speed after being hit, the ability to cast chains in all directions simultaneously, Divine Core drops on hit, which is excellent since the skill doesn't require Divine Cores, plus Elemental Infusion and multiple physical damage enhancements. Next is the Standing Crossbow, another summon. You can place 2, then 4. It's excellent for archers. Modifiers mirror Blade Trap design, increase summon limit, elemental infusion, increase damage, double activation, masterwork, and many more. Following that is Armor Eruption, an explosion triggered from your character, scaling with your armor. Visually, it looks fantastic and it deals holy type damage rather than fire. Combined with chains, it allows you to pull enemies in and detonate them. Modifiers include increased radius, increased damage, elemental infusion, and applying vulnerable. Then we have Metal Welting, a skill that sharpens your weapon for a temporary damage boost. Modifiers include reduced incoming damage, a protective barrier, increased armor, extended duration, a chance to drop Divine Cores, healing while sharpening, cooldown reduction for other skills, faster sharpening, and increased damage. Ironcloth, a new form of Colossus. It gives you massive temporary buffs, more armor, stun resistance, but at a cost. Bulwark, a new defensive state. While it charges, you receive less damage. The longer it lasts, the stronger the reduction becomes. Armor Shard can drop Divine Cores when you take damage, grants pierce damage, retaliation, resistance to crowd control, increased armor, and more. Highest tier skill, Force Field, creates a small enclosed area in which your rules. Enemies deal reduced damage and are slowed. Your summons deal increased damage, you and your constructs gain more armor and extended buff duration. It can be combined with chains to pull enemies inside. And finally, my friends, we also have an aura, one that we haven't actually seen in the preview materials, but it most likely functions like any other aura in the game. However, this one is extremely powerful and fits perfectly, for example, with a warrior build, since it increases weapon damage and boosts our armor. It's another tank-oriented aura that can turn out to be really impactful. On top of that, it can increase dodge chance, fire resistance, and even deal fire damage to enemies by converting some of our damage into fire and piercing damage. The aura also affects our tools and constructs, giving them double activation, which means they can deal significantly more damage to our opponents. We can also gain retaliation effects here, as well as conservation, which reduces mana costs. This aura can apply additional piercing damage both to us and to our constructs, while also boosting our character's armor. It's a very interesting aura that works extremely well for tank builds, especially when combined with the Warfare Mastery, which heavily benefits from increased weapon damage. At the same time, you can build it around fire damage as well, and for example, in an Earth build. Finally, we have passive skills. They work like standard passives. Increased chance to drop Divine Cores, more health, more armor, increased summon damage, increased physical and elemental damage, retaliation, more armor, more summon health, higher chance for double activation on constructs, thermal resistances, and increased elemental damage. There's a lot here, and this mastery tree synergizes extremely well with warrior, mage, and archer builds. It's a huge addition and a fantastic surprise for players looking to create new builds. My build codex just got a lot bigger, and now there are many more combinations to test. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see each other in the next episodes where we'll test builds using this tree and explore more new features from the latest patch. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.